Hey, how you doing? I'm Todd Harold, and we're going to talk today about a sticking and a groove that's based on that sticking called the King Kong beat. And from my understanding, I've done a little bit of research on this. I originally heard the King Kong beat from David Garibaldi. He talked about it on a DVD that he did about 20 or so years ago. And he said he got it from a group called Redbone, a song called, what was it called? The Prehistoric Rhythm and the King Kong Beat. It was from an album from 1970 by a group called Redbone. And the more I started checking things out and the more I talked to people, the more I realized that this had actually been around for a long time. The sticking itself had been around for a long time, that you apply to the King Kong beat. And from my understanding, the sticking originally was based on a New Orleans parade rhythm. You see the guys in the Indians, the New Orleans Indians that are in the Mardi Gras parade with their tambourines, and a lot of times you hear them doing. And that works out to a sticking that goes right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, which is a paradiddle and then an inverted paradiddle. One more time, it's right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. And I'll show that to you now, how that works out on the kit. Then we add the left hand. Accents on 2 and 4. And now, once you've got that happening, then you can start to add some bass drum to that. Now, we talked about it being a New Orleans rhythm, and to get into the history of it a little bit, so that you can look at variations and how people do things, so you're not just playing like one groove, because it's not really one groove. You know, I'm sure you've seen or maybe you haven't. There's a very famous clip of Stanton Moore playing a sticking right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left that he puts all over the drum set. It's on his DVD and it's available on YouTube. You can check it out. Right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left. This is sort of the opposite. Right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. And it sounds like a Latin. It sounds like if you're thinking of clave, it seems like it would be one measure of the clave, but not both measures of the clave. Like it would be the 3 measure. Da 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 da. And so instead of ba da 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 da, you just have the 3 measure. So ba da 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 da. Right? Da 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 da. Like that. So we're just thinking ba da 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 da. Now, this we talked about it being a parade rhythm. There are 2 drummers in particular that are into stickings that I know of from New Orleans. There's Idris Muhammad and there's Johnny Vodakovich. Now, Vodakovich showed a lot of great drummers. He was a teacher, it still is, in New Orleans, and he was Stanton Moore's teacher and Brian Blade's teacher. Idris Muhammad, on the other hand, worked on a lot of old organ group stuff, and you can hear this particular beat all over the old Grant Green Blue Note records that Idris Muhammad is on. He's also known as Leo Morris before he changed his name, before he converted to Islam and changed his name to Idris Muhammad. So if you see Leo Morris or Idris Muhammad on an album, that's him. And his funk grooves were great. He was a jazz drummer, straight ahead player, but he really played great. He really came up with some great funk rhythms because the organ groups used to play funkier than a lot of the other jazz groups. I'm not sure why that was, but it was something that they did. Maybe they were just trying to get over, play pop tunes, play funk grooves. But so you had this originally, I guess, came out in New Orleans, and I'll play a sort of one of Idris's things off of a Grant Green album that you might have heard on a Grant Green album or somebody like that now, and we'll show you that trajectory here, where it's going, where the map goes, because we're gonna go west from New Orleans. Now, once Idris started playing that, and people started hearing that. Now, Garibaldi said it came from this Redbone album from 1970, and I heard, I've heard Steve Gadd play this in a different way, and I'm sure he picked it up around then. But if you're thinking about Idris Muhammad or this Redbone album, and then these guys in Oakland, for some reason, there was this school of funk in Oakland, not a literal school of funk, but it was like they all seemed to have this same thing happening. There were these great drummers. There was Mike Clark, who I've studied with, David Garibaldi, and Gaylord Birch in particular. Really great drummers from the San Francisco, Oakland area. And what they did was they took what we refer to as the King Kong beat and really started to speed it up and make it work in different ways. And you can hear it all over records by Tower of Power, Herbie Hancock and the Headhunters, especially the Thrust album and the Flood album. And what we have here is what we call a linear groove, in that linear means that you're usually your hands are not hitting at the same time. So it's actually a sticking at all times. Most of the time you're not hitting with the bass drum at those times either, but in this case you do. You got to hit with one hand or the other because the hands are playing both at the same time. So we'll show you a couple of Oakland versions of that, and then we'll look at the Steve Gadd version, which is more of a halftime thing. So that was what Mike Clark and David Garibaldi were kind of doing with the King Kong beat. And then later on, I heard Steve Gadd, and I recognized that that same sticking in Steve Gadd's halftime grooves, especially he did an early DVD, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was an early DVD, and there's several things on Drummer World where you can see him do this, and he even does it with cross stick, so that which is relatively easy because you're not really doing doubles with the left hand, obviously. So you can play it. If you've got a fast right hand, which sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. You can really work that up to pretty amazing speeds, and we'll show you the Steve Gadd variation right now. And so now you know about the King Kong beat. Right, left, right, left, right, left. It's not a paradiddle. No, it's not a paradiddle. It's something different altogether. And it's a good intro into Latin stuff. You can put that on a cowbell and start applying all sorts of Latin stuff to it too. These stickings are wonderful, and I hope you check them out. There's lots of them.